They should all be in here in this scene time warp. I'm just gonna make sure. I'm pretty sure I put them in. I'll just I can put add selected objects just to make sure they're in there, and then I'm just gonna go edit keys, bake simulation. Before I do it, I'm going to show you the curves just so you can see what that looks like in terms of curves. These curves should change subtly because we haven't made massive changes. So we edit keys, bake simulation, and there will be a bit of change. And now we can actually see that it ends sooner. It's actually ending at 90 frames. Actually it ends, he's out of the frame at 90 frames almost. So I'm going to put the 90 there. It's at 90 frames. He's out of the scene. Now I can make that 90 here, because it's the whole length. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete the time warp layer, delete, and the actual time warp itself, if I go into key, scene time warp, I can delete scene time warp, and he should still have this animation. If I go off the animation on him, oop, I think I've cut this too short all of a sudden. See, have I got this? Let's go back a little bit. Okay, I've got the scene time warp. I'll move this forward. I think I've taken up too many frames. 120. Okay, he's out by 102 actually. He's out by 102. I'm going to bake this again. 102. Got to remember that. I'm just going to add a key to that so I remember it. Keys, insert key to. Alright, 102. He's out of the shot. Then you're going to add his stuff to the scene time warp, add it to layer, add selected objects, and I'm going to bake this out. Okay, so with the scene time warp layer selected, maybe I didn't do that last time. Make sure the scene time warp layer is selected, the one I've, right, so okay, now I'm going to delete this. And I'm going to delete the scene time warp. Keys, scene time warp, delete scene time warp. And yes, 102, he's out the shot. So it has worked, but again, there's that thing that Maya maintains it and kind of doubles it up. So you just have to be wary of that. So 102, or just after that, he's out of the shot, say 105. So I'll make it 105. 105. Right. So that's what we have now. So we've got this animation. It's all been baked onto this. And we have him running around, speeding up slightly. Seems like a lot of work, but once you get used to it, it can be quite helpful. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to stop the feet from sliding. The last thing, you'd notice it's more in a walk, but I'm just going to show you. It's actually, you can see the feet are sliding there. Now, luckily when he comes round, you only have to stop the feet from sliding where you can see them. Like here we can see it. So when he comes round, especially on the turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, here, I'm going to show you how to do it. So the first thing to do is when he comes around the turn, let's look at this. See where his feet are on the ground. This is where having world space, you might not notice that one, I'll go to the next one. Boom, it's here. This is where having world, this is in world space. Look, wherever it's flat, his feet are on the ground. Look, his foot is on the ground there. So this should be a straight line. So it is pretty much here. It should also be a straight line in the... You can see it's a straight line here. So here his feet are quite good. The Y. His foot's not quite in the ground on the Y here. So I'm going to bring that down a bit. So you've got a strong position there. So there. See, that's not too bad if you look at that there. So bat. Maybe I could lift his kind of on his heels. I can maybe lift up slightly. That. Okay, these ones aren't too bad. Let's have a look at this one, the next one. It comes down. 1, 2. I'll make this a bit bigger so you can see what I'm doing. So this is this there. Cluck on the ground. Let's have a look at the Z's. Are they straight? Not quite. So this is where you can see if you can really straighten these up. You can go in. So there, that needs to be straight. We want that to be straight line. That's locked. There. Yeah. And then what else we got? We got the Y. Just if I zoom in a bit, you can change it by, remember, if you press on the right mouse button and Alt and Shift, you can alter the, so right mouse button, Alt, ALT and Shift, you can alter the view, remember. So I'm going to pull this down a bit so it's just a little bit further on the ground. The rotations I'm less concerned about because your feet do often rotate when you're on the ground slightly. It feels like it's going in a bit there. Maybe that is okay. Okay, so then what else we got? His feet actually aren't too bad. So, wait a minute, this is going backwards though. I have to look at this again. This one here is definitely going backwards. There's this foot here. I wonder if it's just the angle. It looks like a slide, but between 71 and 72. But when I look at this one, and I look at it close, the actual controller does not look like. I wonder if it actually needs almost. It's almost like maybe I need to. Do I need to bring this forward a bit? Maybe I go like this. Maybe I take rid of this and then go like that. Okay, so then you go that. Oh, there's definitely a slide backwards there. Quiche on this foot. So go back to this one again. It's definitely in the Z. There's definitely a move backwards. Just make sure the feet are not. I almost feel like I need to bring this forward a bit. It's kind of interesting. So and go into the Z. It's all actually, I have to be careful because a lot of this is on local space and this deals with world space. So to be honest, if in terms of the feet here on the translate Z, if I just bring it up where his foot comes down, if this actually is straight here, I'll just show you, it's sliding backwards, but I'll show you what happens. If this is straight here, I'll make that straight too. Make this straight. Let's see, so that keep sliding backwards in that direction, but look, if that is straight, see that's from 77 to 79. If I go to the translate X and I go to 77, yeah, and then get rid of this and then go to 79 and bring this up like that, look what happens. If that actually is a straight line, you see that it doesn't slide at all. You just have to be wary, and I'll bring this up as well. Yeah, see the foot, sorry, the foot is locked now. So yeah, you've got to be wary, even though it's the Z on his foot in terms of the local translations, these lines here are giving you the global translations. And in global space, you're probably going to have to affect both the Z and the X coordinates together. So they should both, if you want no slipping, they should both be straight lines. So that would mean that this bit here where the foot is on the ground and seems to slide backwards, in the X, you also make sure that when his foot is down, which is from there, there to there, get rid of that point. I'm just going to make this a flat line. That is a flat line, and then you won't get any sliding. Yeah. So once you've done that, you will have a man which is running around a corner that you can render out, and it should look quite nice. Yeah. That would be a lot of work, even more work if you were to try and do it manually. So it's a way of getting results, and as you practice this, you'll get faster at it.